All right, Shalom, your brother Jamar from the Phoenix camp. With that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone. And peace and salutations to the brothers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. I'm going to jump right to the lesson. This is Psalms 103 and 6. Say the Lord executes righteousness and judgment for all that are oppressed. Let's get the definition of these words. Well, let's get the word of executors. This is executors, and it says to do, fashion, accomplish, to make, to work, produce, to do, to work, to deal, to act with effect, to make, produce, prepare, to attend to. So the Lord's going to attend to, He's going to appoint, He's going to bring about judgment. He's going to bring, the Lord executes righteousness and judgment. So He's going to balance things out for all that are oppressed. Who are all those oppressed? Well, that's talking about the Israelites, the so-called Black, Latino, Native American. We are the oppressed, we are the wrong, we are the exploited. As you can see from these key words in this definition. So we are the oppressed, man. It's talking about his people, the Israelites. We are the ones oppressed. So the Lord's going to balance everything out, man. Those that are on top will be brought low, as said in the book of Samuel. The prayer of, I think it was, I can't remember the name right now, but I'll get it right now. Let's see here. Hannah, yeah, the prayer of Hannah. And this is the prayer about balance, man. So this is the prayer that Hannah prayed, when she was when her prayer got answered, which is to have a son, to have Samuel, because she was barren. This is the first Samuel 2:1, and Hannah prayed, and this is also prophecy, said, my heart rejoices in the Most High, my horn is exalted in the Lord, my mouth is enlarged over my enemy, because I rejoice in that salvation. Why? Because the Lord's going to execute judgment and righteousness for the oppressed. There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none beside thee, there any rock like our power. Talk no more exceedingly proudly, let not arrogancy come out your mouth. The Lord is a power of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. So the actions of these Edomites, they're weighed, man. They're being weighed in the balance. Their wickedness are being weighed. They're being considered. They're being looked at. They're being judged. So the action of the Edomites, the elites, they are being weighed. So that's where the balance comes in. That's where judgment comes in. Because judgment is all about balance, man. Judgment has everything to do with balance. For a right, there must be a wrong. For action, there must be a consequence. For a transgression of the law, there must be an execution of judgment. So judgment is all about balance, and the Lord's going to bring balance, first and foremost to us, the Israelites, by the destruction of the wicked. It says, for the Lord is a power of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. The bows of the mighty men are broken. Who are the mighty men? The mighty men are the Edomites, man. They are the ones that are blessed with the sword, so that makes them mighty in the carnal sense. And they that stumble are girded with strings, and we are the ones that are stumbled, man. We are the ones that are put down, that are brought at a low position, and we shall be girded with strength, because there's going to be a balance. There's going to be a balance. The balance is that we are supposed to be in a superior position in righteousness upon the earth. That's the balance. Right now, we have extreme wickedness. So to counteract that, there must be supreme righteousness. And that's going to be in the kingdom. The bows of the mighty men are broken, and they that are stumbled good with strength. They that were full have hired out themselves for bread, and they that were hungry cease. So the barren born 7, and the sheep of many shall wax feeble. I'll jump to verse 7. The Lord make us poor, make us rich, he brings us low, and lift us up. So once again, that's judgment, because judgment is all about balance. We made videos concerning balance. This is just a further examination of that, man. So let's get Proverbs 22 and 22. This is Proverbs 22 and 22, and it says, rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. For the Lord will please their cause and spoil the soul of those that spoiled them. So he's going to bring everything to its proper order. We are the poor, and we're the ones that have been robbed. Robbed first and foremost of our heritage, because he is poor, because we were in that lower state. So the devil took advantage of us in our lower state to further advance himself. I always like to say that he has a 500 here, yeah, a 500 Now it's almost going to be 500-year head start on you so-called Black Latinos and Native Americans, man, because he kept us down for the past 500 years. Talking about when he came, talking about all the way from Christopher Columbus on down, man. It's a lot. So he has took advantage of our cursed situation. That's why the scripture said that let me see if I can find it. That he furthered the affliction. So he furthered the affliction. He took advantage of our down, our low estate. Forwarded the affliction, I think it is. Yeah. So let's see if I can find it. This is Zechariah 1 and 15. It says, I am very sore to plead with the heathen that are at ease. And because they put themselves at ease. First and foremost, talking about the Edomites and the other nations, because they took part in our oppression, they took part in our captivity, they took part in our bondage. It says, I am very sorry to plead with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the afflictions, and they took advantage of our low trodden state, man. It's going back to Proverbs 22 and 23. It says, for the Lord will plead their cause and spoil the soul of them that spoiled them. So let's get the word spoil. He will plunder. So they will be plundered, because ultimately these heathen nations, they will be subject to us in the kingdom, man. They will bring us their treasures, their riches, their daughters to the Israelite man. They will be our servants, because we're going to be co-inheritors, Yahushai. That's why it says in Psalms, the second chapter, he will give the heathen for inheritance, talking to Yahushai. We're going to be the joint heir of Yahushua, so we're also going to get the heathen as our inheritance, as slaves. So let's get Job 27 and 13. So this is going to be the judgment. This is going to be the judgment of Salakia, the judgment of the Edomites, the judgment of the elites. They're going to get their judgment, man. This is get Job 20, going back to Psalms 103. The Most High executed judgment and righteousness. So let's go to Job 22 and 23, and we're going to find out how one of the ways the Lord's going to execute that judgment. We'll start at verse 13. And it says, is that it? The 27. Let's see. Yeah. It says, this is the portion of a wicked man. So this is what he's going to receive. This is going to be his judgment. This is going to be the cup that he has to drink. It says, this is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh. Going back to Psalms 103, he executed judgment and righteousness to those that oppress the poor, and the heritage of oppressors. So the oppressors are the wicked man, which they shall receive of the Almighty. So this is going to be the judgment. This is going to be what he's going to execute. Going back to Psalm 103 and 6. This is going to be the judgment that he's going to execute upon the oppressor. Verse 14. If it shouldn't be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. He buildeth his house as a moth, as a booth that the keeper maketh. The rich man lie down, but shall not be gathered. He opens his eyes, he is not. Terrors take hold of him as waters tempest. A tempest steals him away in the night. The east wind carries him away, and the potters and the storm hurls him out of his place. For Yahweh shall cast upon him and not spare. He would flame flee out of his land. Men shall clap their hands at him and shall hiss him out of his place. So he's going to be back in his downtrodden state, man. He's going to be back to being nothing. Why? Because he's going to be an animal-like slave in the kingdom for 1,000 years. He's going to be in a beast-like, ignorant, caveman-like state in the kingdom for 1,000 years. And after those 1,000 years are over, he's going to no longer exist as a nation. Talking about the Edomites, man. So this is the judgment that the Lord is going to execute for the righteous and the poor, because that's part of our freedom of captivity. Let's let me get Micah 2 and 3. This is Micah 2 and 3. And this is throughout all the scriptures, man. This is a few verses. It says Micah 2 3, therefore thus says the Most High, behold against this family. I'll start at verse 2, yeah. Micah 2 and I'll start at verse 1. It says, woe to them that advise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because of the power of their hand. Who gave them the power? Who gave them that power? The Most High did. Going back to Job 9:24, that wasn't given to the hands of the wicked. So they've given the power as the Lord swore to do this, but he's going to be judged for that same power that he's given. That's how cold the Most High is. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they press a man. Going back to Psalm 103 and 6, he executes judgment and righteousness for the oppressed, and these are the oppressors. And his house, even a man, and his heritage. It is inheritance, and our inheritance is what? The fact that we are Israelites. Therefore, thus says the Most High Power, behold, against his family do I devise an evil, from which shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go wholly for this time of evil. So he's going to devise an evil or a troublesome time or a great judgment upon the Edomites, man, upon our oppressors, upon those that have been in captivity. He is going to devise an evil against them, and that evil that he's devising is it's going to be 1,000 years of slavery, and also destruction, and also a judgment in the form of missiles, in the form of a fire, in the form of bloodshed, in the form of death. That's what's going to happen to our oppressors. So the Lord's going to execute judgment for our oppressors, man. Get James 5:1 and 6, from James 5 and 16. This is it's a lock. James 5 and 16, and it says, confess your faults. No, that ain't it. Let's see if I can find something. It's like James 5:1. So go to now, ye rich men, talking about the elite, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. And we will explain those miseries that will come upon them is going to be the great judgment of the Most High. Your riches are corrupted, and your garment are moth eaten. Your gold is silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. To eat your flesh with fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers are reaped down your field, which is of you kept back by foul cries. The cries then which shall have reaped are into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. So that's the Lord of hosts, or the Lord of the armies, man. So that's the Lord Sabaoth, the Lord of the armies of Israel. So that's being basically saying the Lord of the armies. And what's the army of the Lord? The nuclear missiles. That's the army of the Lord. The 200 million ICBMs or warheads that are going to hit America. That's the army of the Lord. That's the great judgment that's coming upon you Edomites. So you have lived in pleasure on earth and been wanton, but because their blessing was part of the blessing was the fatness of the earth. And been wanton, you have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. You condemn and kill the just, and he does not resist you. Why? Because we are in a defensive position right now. So this is it. Be patient, therefore, brethren, to the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husband went away for the precious fruit of the earth. That's the elect, and has long patience for it to receive the early latter rain. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Most High draws nigh. And part of that, and when he comes, he's gonna execute judgment, man. So that's what we do. That's what we pronounce. We pronounce judgment on these Edomites. We pronounce judgment on our oppressors, on our captors, through the scriptures. So we're telling you what the scriptures say against you, you elites of Esau, Edom. With that being said, it's a real quick lesson. Most I wouldn't hope was edifying. So I don't give our honor, glory, and praise. Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. Brothers keep on pushing. Shalom.